Hello everybody, welcome to the Go language course. In this video, I'm going to discuss the use of maps in Go language. Before I discuss the maps, I have to include the main package on the first line of my file. And also I need to include the fmt package at the beginning so that I'm able to use the printline functions coming from this package. Let's start the discussion. A map is an unordered collection of the key value pairs where each key is unique. So a map is a way to store the key value pairs in Go language. And how can I create a map? I can use literals of maps with string keys and integer values in this example. So I want to say the balance of the bank accounts of Michael and Susan would have two values, okay? So how can I do so? I can use the mapping. I want to make a map. The key will be of string type and the value will be of integer type. So the type inside the square brackets would mean the key type, and the data type out of the square brackets would mean the value type. So this is a string called Michael, and this string would have a value of 2000, which is an integer. Same for Susan. Susan is a string, and this string will map to $4,000. A string will be mapped to an integer, okay? So I can print the map by using the printline function. So let me see how I can do it. Yes, you can see that I'm able to print out the key value pairs inside the balances variable, okay? Remember that the map is an unordered collection, so the order of appearing the key value pairs in the terminal may not be the same as that entered in the code, okay? Now I can also create a map using the make function. How can I do so? I can use the make function, and I just use the map keyword inside the brackets, and I have to specify the key and value in the data types, okay? The key type will be stored in a pair of square brackets, and the value type will be stored outside the square brackets, okay? So if I want to use the make function to create my map, I can use this approach to specify the key value pairs that will be stored in this map. New ages, Dave, equals 31, so the key will be Dave, which is a string. The value of this key will be an integer 31, okay? So I also make another key value pair by saying Eve as my string, and the corresponding integer will be 27. So I can print out the map developed in this way by using the make function. So you can see the map can be printed out. Okay, so the two key value pairs are shown here. I can also create a map in this way. Now I have another map called ages. So I want to say that Alice is 25 years old and Bob is now 30 years old. So I can use this kind of mapping to map a string to an integer. And of course I can print out this map. So the map can be printed out as usual. And I can access the values by specifying the key. So if I want to know the value of a key called Alice, I can use this approach, ages Alice. Then I'm able to get back the age of Alice. So you can see that I can print out 25 as the answer because it is really the value corresponding to the key called Alice, okay? Of course, I'm also able to modify the values by specifying the key in this way. If I say ages Bob equals 29, I'm able to change the Bob's age to 29, okay? So this kind of assignment is allowed in Go language, okay? So when I print out the value corresponding to this Bob string, I'm able to get 29 instead. We can see that 29 has come out, which means that this kind of assignment of a new value to the original key is allowed in Go language. After setting up a new map, we can really add some new key value pairs into the original map. So I can add one more thing here. So after making the address map here, I'm able to get one line here to make some new key value pairs into my original map. So you can see that I'm able to really print the value corresponding to this new key called Carol. Okay, you can see that Carol is 34 years old. So we can do the addition of some new key value pairs into the original map, okay? We can also delete a key value pair by specifying the key only. So I can use the delete function. I want to delete the key value pair with Bob being the key, and I want to also specify my map to do the deletion. So in my ages map, I want to delete the key value pair with the key being Bob. So after this deletion, I'm able to see Alice and Carol only. Yes, you can see that I have only Alice and Carol only. The key value pair corresponding to Bob is already deleted. We can have some way to really check if a certain key exists in a given map. The idea is to use the OK idiom. What does it mean by this idiom? Let us see this example. If the corresponding value is found, it is stored in the first variable. So if I want to find out a certain key, and if this key exists, the first variable will store the corresponding key. Okay, and the second variable will be true if the key is really found in the map. Otherwise, the second variable will be false. So the second variable here will be stored false if the key cannot be found. And the first variable will be a default value only. So in my example, the default value of a string is just an empty string. Okay, so I'm going to use this new map to illustrate the OK idiom. So I have a map here which corresponds to the marks of a certain student's subjects. Okay, so if I want to see whether the mark of English test is really existent in the map, I can use this approach. English marks, which is a variable that is going to store the key if it is found, and comma here, and this variable is going to store whether the key is found or not from my given map. If it is found, this variable will become true, otherwise it will be false. So I want to see whether this key is present from my given map called marks. Okay, if this one is true, then I'm able to print out the marks obtained from the map. Okay, otherwise I would say there is no such subject for this student. Of course, I'm able to print out the English mark and the exists variable. So I can also do similar arrangement for another subject called history. You can see that it is not present in the given map. So you will expect that this history marks will become a default value, which is just an empty string, and this exists variable will become false. So you will see that I will print out no such subject later. So let us see the result of running this part of the code. Yes, you can see that I'm able to get English 83. Since it is a mark, I will have 83 coming out because I'm able to store the value of this particular key called English. Okay, and I'm able to print it out separately, and also I'm able to see the exists variable to become true because English marks is really present in the given map. And for the history marks, it is not present, so the default value is 0. Okay, because this is of integer type, the integer type has a default value of 0. I'm able to print out the default value back. And of course, the exists variable will become false because history key isn't present in my given map. Okay. Okay, I can also iterate over a map. How can I do so? I can use the range keyword. So I want to say the key first, followed by the value. Okay, so we follow this order, the key followed by the value, to indicate the content of the map that is going to be iterated. Okay, so let me see how I can run it. Yes, I can see that the 3 subjects are given here, and the corresponding marks are also given here. And I can also give the length of a map. That means the number of key value pairs in my map. I can use the len function to help me get the length of the marks. Actually, I have 3 key value pairs. So this 3 here means the number of pairs in my map. Okay. Now we can also make nested maps. What does it mean by a nested map? It is just like this. A map becomes the value of the outer map. So let us see this example. I have a map here, and the key of this map will be a string, and the value will be another map. You see, this part will be the value of the original map, and this value is really a new map. Okay, the map has string as the key, and the value of that inner map will be integer. So you can see that this part will be the key of the people map, and the value will be another map, which has the age and the scores, both of which are of integer types. Okay, so you can see string here would be age and score, and integer would correspond to 25 and 90 for a particular key of the people map. Okay, so I'm able to print out the entire map called people. So you can see that this is the entire map. And this is the key, and the value will be a map here. Okay, the key will be Bob, and the value of Bob will be this entire map. Okay. A map can contain a slice as the value type. What does it mean by this one? Let us see. We have a map here, and the key will be a string, and the value of this map will be a slice. So the slice is going to store some strings. So this is the string key, and this is the slice value. Okay, so a string will map to a slice that stores strings. Okay, so this is the meaning of having a slice in the value of a map. So let us see the result of printing it out. So the key will be team A, and the value will be this slice that contains 2 names, and team B will be the key, and this value will be having a slice that stores 2 strings inside. Okay. The 0 value of a map is nil, and a nil map would behave like an empty map when reading, but it would cause a runtime error when we do the writing into the new map. What does it mean by this sentence? Let us see this example. I have a map here, and we have nothing to really input into the map because I just declare the key type and the value type without really assigning some key value pairs into my map. Okay. So of course you can expect that I have a new map, and some map will be equal to nil. Okay. So we can see it by printing the result. So you'll see it is true. When I don't assign any key value pairs into my map, I will have a new map. Okay. And when we have a new map, we are not able to really assign some key value pairs into it any longer. So this part will not be allowed. So when I save it, you can see that it is not allowed to make the program compile. New reference in map update. So if the map is already new, I'm not able to really add some key value pairs in it. So let us see the result of running it. You see, we have a panic here. Assignment to entry in new map. So when the map is new, we are not able to do the assignment of new key value pairs into it. So this video has discussed a lot of things about a map in Go language. We know that it is an unordered collection of key value pairs, and we know how to create maps. We also know how to create a map using the make function, and we know how to access the values of the map by using the key, and we know how to modify the values by using a key, and we also know how to add new key value pairs into a map. We know how to delete a key value pair in a map. We can also use the OK idiom to check whether a certain key exists in a given map. We can do the iteration over a map. We get the length of a map by using the len function. And we also know how to do the nested maps. We can also contain a slice in a map as the value of a map. And also we know how to make a new map in Go language. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions about my video, please leave your questions on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.